The FBI says it is searching roadways near Tucson as part of its investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, who has not been seen this month. In a new statement, the Phoenix office of the FBI says numerous agents are conducting an extensive search along multiple roadways in the Catalina Foothills area. This is where Nancy's home is. The Bureau goes on to ask all media and motorists to follow traffic laws and remain especially cautious when passing law enforcement personnel near the roadways. The development comes as a man who says he was detained and questioned overnight in Guthrie's disappearance has been released. This morning, CBS News spoke to a man who simply went by Carlos of Rio Rico, Arizona, who says he was pulled over and held for hours by authorities investigating Guthrie's disappearance. Carlos's mother-in-law confirmed to reporters that investigators searched her home last night as part of their probe into him. After being released, Carlos told reporters, including our Andres Gutierrez, that he doesn't know who Guthrie is or why law enforcement thought he might be connected to her kidnapping.
And you don't even know who the lady is? Do you know who Savannah Guthrie is?
No. I don't follow the news.
Right.
I don't watch the news.
You don't watch the Today Show?
No.
So this was a complete shock.
It was.
What kind of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me no questions.
So
Nothing. They just had me in the car. They investigated my car and this van, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions, no nothing.
Did you get the other car back? Or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
yeah, it's like.
And they said you can go home?
Yeah.
Law enforcement has not confirmed that Carlos is the person they picked up or that the person of interest has been released. A spokesperson for the Pima County Sheriff's Department told CBS News early Wednesday Nancy Guthrie still hasn't been found. So take another look at the images authorities released yesterday, captured on Nancy's home surveillance camera. Officials say the subject appears to be armed and tampered with her doorbell camera. We are now joined by Kirk Burkhalter. He is a former NYPD detective and a criminal law professor at New York Law School. Thank you so much for being here. So let's first of all talk about this new search today, this extensive search of roadways in the Catalina Foothills area. Could the FBI be looking for something, someone tossed out of a car window? What do you make of it?
So it's quite possible that the video has done its job as far as generating tips, and kind of seems that way given the activity yesterday evening. And now we see this expanded search. To be quite honest, they could be looking for anything. The authorities have been quite tight-lipped with regards to the progress of their investigation. And I would say rightly so. They certainly don't want to tip off any perpetrator. But I would think that they are looking for more forensic evidence, or so, like you said, something that may have been tossed out of a car window and so forth, as opposed to an actual person.
As a result of a tip or just normal detective work?
At this point, I would suspect it is chasing down leads that are the result of a tip or a hotline, because the authorities seem to have exhausted many of the independent investigatory leads that they developed. So I think that's why we also saw the release of the video in the first place. This was to generate some assistance from the public and tips and so forth.
Got it. So let's go ahead and examine some of the photos and videos released yesterday of the subject. What jumps out to you in terms of what he's wearing, what he's carrying, that weapon that appears holstered there in front of his person around his waist?
So starting with the weapon, it's a very generic holster. He is carrying the weapon towards the front. And this certainly I would tend to believe that this is someone who is not proficient in any way with firearms. You just don't see folks carrying firearms that way. I've said previously, why not just put the weapon in his pocket? Also seems a little bit unprepared, right? You know that most homes have doorbell cameras and so forth. You think that he would have brought some type of material to cover the camera. It seems that he's kind of working this out as he goes along. The backpack was rather large and looks certainly full, and I would certainly like to know what is in the backpack. But I think given we now know the height, relative size of this person, someone out there knows this person, and it's just a matter of whether they are motivated to contact the authorities.
Other than somebody out there knowing this person, in terms of technology and what can be accomplished in this day and age, is there still value in releasing these images even though we cannot see the person's full face?
Oh, certainly. Well, there's value in releasing it with regards to the public, because quite often we recognize folks through their gait, their mannerisms, and so forth. As far as technology is concerned within the law enforcement community, very difficult to get a match through facial recognition technology. Not impossible, but very difficult given the mask. And also, sometimes evidence or leads come in drips and drabs. So this particular video may not seem as relevant as one would like it to seem right at this moment, but there may be some other evidence that's obtained at some point in the future. And it's kind of like puzzles. You put these pieces together, and that turns into one large lead.
Kirk Burkhalter, thank you so much for your expertise. Anyone with information about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is asked to call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or the Pima County Sheriff's Department. That number is also on your screen, 520-882-7463.